Ishmael Johnson, Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com here with Texas State head coach Jake Spavital. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. So, first, about the event, THSCA. What's it like coming here, networking, meeting a lot of the coaches, things like that? This is your third, I believe, or as a head coach here. Third,
exactly. COVID.
THSCA. You're right, exactly.
Nothing right. Existed then, right?
Exactly. What's it like coming here and just being a part of this event?
I love this event. I'm a high school coach's son, and I was around this in Oklahoma a lot, but not to this extent.
Sure.
You got 15 to 16,000 people walking around here right now, but I'm pretty fortunate to sit on a lot of these NCAA panels. I'm on the ethics committee, and I'm on the name, image, likeness task force. I'm on the rules committee.
Mm-hmm.
You sit there and you listen to all of their issues, but then you come here to the Texas High School Coaches Association, and they're trying to improve. They're trying to make it better. They're trying to address issues, and they just want to make it fair for everybody.
Sure.
And that's what I appreciate it, because it's so well run. It's always good seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while, man. There's always a lot of coaches that you haven't seen in a while, you can just get together with, and normally at this time of the year, that means football's about to start up, man.
Sure. And let's talk a little bit about college football in general. A lot of moving pieces. One, I guess we'll start with kind of the Sun Belt. Obviously, they picked up a couple new members. But what's it like being a part of a conference that, they're kind of seeing Conference USA get a little bit, devoured a little bit, AAC, things like that. But Sun Belt's relatively strong. What's it kind of like being a part of a conference where you more or less know, we know where we're going to be for the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think the Sun Belt's done an extremely well job at today's time. I was talking with you earlier just a second ago about the USC, UCLA to the Big Ten, and how it's a 41-hour, drive from LA to Piscataway, New Jersey, and then you sit there and you look at where we're at, and we added 4 new teams into our conference, and it seems like we're just getting stronger. I thought, the 2020 year, the COVID year, Coastal Carolina jumped on the map, and Louisiana Lafayette, everybody, it was a very good year for us, and it's been a very solid, conference to be a part of, and we added James, Madison, and Marshall, and Old Dominion, and Southern Miss, and it just adds on to we got 14 teams that are all in very good spots right now.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about last year. 4-8, one of the better years recently, but there's obviously that caveat of not where you guys want to be.
Exactly.
Well, how do you kind of take that? Because again, it is the most wins since about 2016, but still not the progress you guys wanted to make or expected to make. How do you kind of balance that out with there was improvement, but probably not what you wanted?
Yeah, no, our expectations are to go to a bowl game. Our school's never been to a bowl game, and that's what we want to do. And I see this, I've seen these kids for over the last 3 years, how we've gotten better every single year, and they're frustrated. We're all frustrated, and we want to put together a product that everyone's going to be proud of.
Sure.
And you just kind of look at the journey that this team's already had. It's a very experienced team. There's a lot of ups and downs that we've had. We started off the year played Baylor well, and then we end up having some issues with COVID. We lose to Incarnate Word, which was a really good team, and beat us, and Eastern Michigan destroyed us. Then we have a bye week, and then we end up beating South Alabama. That's good, and we finished second in the West.
Yeah.
And you're just looking at it, you're what's going on, man? And our kids know that. We got to play smarter football, and we will, and they're doing a great job right now of understanding what it needs to, what we need to do to get to that bowl game and get to our goals. And it's a lot of work, man. But there's always a lesson, there's always a reason and purpose for everything that happens to you. And we've addressed everything, and these kids they're out there working harder than they've ever had because they want to change the narrative of our university.
Sure. Have a switch at quarterback. Obviously, Lane Hatcher coming in. First, talk about him a little bit and what's he brought to the table, and then obviously, Brady McBride departing, going to a conference rival. Obviously you've been very open about how cordial that decision was on both parties' part. But how awkward is it? Probably scheduling playing against your former quarterback.
I know, man. It's but it's today's times.
Sure.
Brady leaves for App State. We take Lane Hatcher from Arkansas State.
Right.
It's just everybody's just moving around, and doing what's right for them, And Brady loved that kid. He's love his family as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to do great things out there. I believe in that kid, and he just thought where he was at, and it was the time for him to, make a change,
sure.
And that allows him to do things, he's been in college for a long time, it's his third university that he's going to. He's graduated with a degree at Texas State, and, that's the important thing right there. But you bring in Lane, you got a good battle between him and Ty Evans right now. But, the thing about Lane, he was a 4-time state champion wrestler, and that's why I loved. He was one of the top 5 wrestling recruits in the country. He was committed to Oklahoma State to wrestle.
Oh wow!
Which I'm from Oklahoma, and
sure.
Oklahoma State wrestling is pretty intense now. And but he's thrown for 7,500 yards and 65 touchdowns in his career already. He's played a lot of ball. He signed with Alabama out of high school. And he goes in there with Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts, and he realizes that it's a really good QB room, and let's go to Arkansas State and do the times and coaching changes. His journey is now here at Texas State, and I love how he's embraced everything. Man, he's a hard worker. The players love him right now because he's putting everything he's got into the game right now. Yeah,
talk a little bit about the numbers. You mentioned some of the roster numbers now. You got some criticism from the recruiting strategy, things like that, the transfer portal, but I've noticed in 2023 there's been a lot more focus on the high school recruiting side. Are the numbers kind of balancing out that way to where now the defense, in my opinion, it was justified, where it's you had a young team and you needed experience, so that's why you kind of went that transfer portal route. Now is it kind of lending to where you're in a spot where now we're starting to get to a place where the seniors are graduating, you're losing more numbers now, and now you could probably supplant that, or I guess reinforce that.
No, we've finally got a balance, with the classes, and we have a lot of discussions over this now, and a lot of things too, man. And we've had high school kids leave us.
Right, exactly. I was about to say Zion Childress recently.
And nothing against him, but
sure.
I'm saying the times we're in.
Right.
Zion didn't have very many offers. We believed in him. We got him. We invested 3 years of a lot of resources and time and energy and all that, and then he leaves for an opportunity that he said he couldn't turn down.
Sure.
And I'm all for that. But a part of the strategy with the transfer portal is it's hard to transfer a third time.
Right, exactly.
And that's why we kind of went that approach on some things. A lot of our transfers have multiple years of eligibility. Across the board, it's I think it's 3.1 or 3.4 years of eligibility of our transfers. So that's kind of our developmental guys.
Sure.
But you can't just live off that. I'm telling you, I've learned in this time that everybody has issues.
Yeah.
Junior college recruiting, I feel so bad for those guys at times because – I can go in right now and pull their starting quarterback if I wanted to right now.
Sure,
it's and they know that, and that makes it very hard to establish a program and win at that level. But what we've done is we've got a good balance of high school, junior college, and transfers right now, and it's hard to navigate at times. You can't really have discussions about it. Right now, we're going to sign 4 offensive linemen for the 2023 year. It could be 8. You just don't know, and you just take it one day at a time, man, and just make sure that you're balancing it all out and doing the right things.
Lastly, what's the vibe of this team? What do we got for 2022 heading into this fall? Another tough schedule. What can we expect?
Yeah, no, I think this is the most experienced team I've ever had due to the COVID issues and the eligibility freeze. But I think this is a very close team. They're playing for each other. They care about each other. When you see them, if they go to dinner, there's 25 of them. It's not just hey, here's 4 guys. You see that as a coach, and you're man, these guys truly care about each other. They're putting extra work in. They're making sure there's an expectation and an accountability. And I used to in 2019 and 2020, I'd have to, hold the team accountable for certain deals. Well, they're holding themselves accountable right now.
Right.
And I love that, and I want this team to win more than anybody because I see the work that they're putting in. I see how close of a group they are. And I think good things are going to happen when you play for the person to the right and the left of you.
Sure. All right. Well, appreciate you joining us, Coach.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
You're the best.